Hey y'all, I'm back from hiatus. How has y'all's new year been going so far? Maybe I did or didn't lose some subs. I recorded this on 30th of November 2024 in preparation for my hiatus. And this should have been my last video before that. You saw the title in the beginning, right? And we're coming up on talking about that in a bit. I've missed y'all. I haven't been able to support a lot of channels. I've been getting prepped for the soap business, which I'm going to post to my backup channel, the Evergreen Wave. So I'll be spending a good chunk of 2025 writing books, and because I had lost a lot of books that disappeared off my computer, so it's going to take me a good year to 2 years to catch back up. And in addition to that, I'm also working on this soap. By now, it's a possibility that some of my soap videos have dropped to my alternate channel, the Evergreen Wave. I'm sure that content has dropped to the Evergreen Wave. Excuse my burp. So before we get into this, let me give 4 shout outs. And remember, when you see their subs and things on these clippings, understand that this is from 2024. And we've gone full in on 2025. So all of these people's subs, fingers crossed, have jumped. So we're going to go through them quick. Give a shout out to Vegan Kings. If y'all can, please go sub to his channel. Talks about vegan food, talks about culture. He's of Haitian heritage, so he has a lot of good spin on things. Also talks about business, but he's not a business professional, so head over to his channel. Then my biggest supporter, the next channel, the Solomon Project. He is not giving you financial advice, but he likes to talk about our money and the markets and things such as the Federal Reserve, having those little fireside chats. Queen Nikki P, y'all need to recognize. She's coming up by the time this recording. I'm sincerely hoping that she's monetized, because she's making that big push to get there. Nikki P is a Jill of all trades, with the cooking, with video games, with her son, with outings and family outings and what to look for with those. And I also hopefully by this time see more recipes from her. Last but certainly not least, he is no stranger to hiatuses as I am, the Curtis York. He likes to bring people in who are positive, and Curtis is more of a networker than anything. The thing I'll tell people about Curtis that is his greatest asset is that he likes to take hiatuses. That's the reason he was the inspiration for me taking off these last few weeks from YouTube, because as I said, I'm not trying to get monetized on this. This ain't my life. Okay? So back to our regularly scheduled program. Here's a question. In the United States, do you all think that black people are addicted to disrespect and disunity? My answer to that would be yes, but I want you all to put in the comments who are listening what you think that is. And for my listeners who aren't black, I'm not ostracizing you and purposely limiting you out. This is just more of a video about black culture and how we need to deal with certain things. So please understand, I'm in no way disrespecting you. I'm addressing black culture. Let's break this down. First off, the reason I brought up disrespect is a video I put out, not a video, one I clipped, an interview probably out of Atlanta, Georgia, from Isaac Hayes III that I watched on 30th of November 2024. Go back and watch that video. I had it clipped to my community. We are the only people in this country that will know someone disrespects us, and it's not all of us, but as a collective, on a collective level, we'll clap back at them demanding their respect when we know we're never going to get it. And he talked about making money online and how it all connects. And he brought up the example of Gucci, which I've never owned a Gucci piece and never will. I'm not condemning any of you that listens, but when a company comes out and say we don't market to your community, say less. I don't ever need to buy anything you own. This is just my take. If you're listening to me right now and you love Gucci, I'm not knocking you for that. But the fact that he brought up that example, and you see black people showing up to in large numbers to sales for Gucci, standing outside for hours fighting over Gucci wallets, it's down the rabbit hole at this point. And when he brought up that example, okay, he touched on something we don't like to talk about, because it's going to roll over into disunity in a few minutes. Black people want relevance from these brands so bad, from TikTok so bad, even when TikTok has shown itself to be a racist platform, and it is. Too many people have complained about it for me not to believe that TikTok does not accept racism, because it does. You're fighting for relevancy on those platforms when we have so many black people now good at tech that we can create a platform either just for black people, because some are going to do that, or create one that's inclusive to everyone. What happened to y'all? Because back in the day when we had this website called blackplanet.com, black people had no problem with this website and getting together with black professionals and having something relevant and nice. Now you much rather infight and try to seek relevance from people who don't care about you, instead of having respect from people regardless of race and gender who do respect you. It's embarrassing. Our people get off on this king and queen of the clapback. And some clapbacks are warranted, because if you're blatantly targeting black people, then yeah. But something like a clothing line, come on. If Gucci didn't want you, it's so many other couture lines made by designers of different races and genders. Why are you trying to seek relevance from that one? It just didn't make no sense to me. And the same thing was, what was it, Dom Perignon or Cristal? I couldn't tell y'all because I don't drink. So if that's your thing, okay, can't say nothing to you. Individually, because my listeners who are black don't let this happen. We don't let people disrespect us like that. Every now and again we're going to say something, but for the most part we're still going to grind and build something and accept that people just don't like us. That's the individual level. On the collective level, we're sitting back waiting for relevancy. And I'll give you another example. Myron Gaines of Fresh and Fit, who's getting off on calling black people monkeys and dropping N-bombs, and so bad wanted to be relevant with white people, he joined a white forum trying to say, I'm just like y'all. But because he comes from a desertous place in Africa, they called him a sand N-word. Because that's how bad this guy wishes he was born white, and tries to prove his loyalty by clapping back constantly. I'm just going to keep saying this stupid stuff about black people and I don't care, knowing that he himself is black. He is tolerating humility and disrespect just to be a race that he'll never be. And I'm hoping to God he doesn't do anything stupid like start bleaching his dang skin. You just don't know with these tetters anymore. Now let's roll over to the reason I like to talk about, and I did a video last year on Cam Newton, about Cam Newton and disunity. and why it rolls over into disrespect. See, people can disrespect us because they know we're not a unified front. And let's not talk about we're not a monolith. We already know that. That's stating the obvious. Thanks, Einstein. For those of you idiots who want to get in my comments, we don't think alike, we're not a monolith. I live by that. But don't you find it strange that other communities look out for their own best interest and we don't? And other communities have their fair share of crime and things. They just like to highlight ours better than anyone. Why? Because black people are addicted to the disrespect that comes with the notoriety that they get in the news. That's why you twerk in grocery stores. That's why in midday traffic in cities like Los Angeles, you'll jump out of your car and twerk on the hood. This is why you'll show up and dumpster dive for weave. This is why you'll stand in line for hours for sales and talk louder than any other race of people that's there. Look, I'm not trying to throw out stereotypes. I'm telling you things that when you type in search engines, you can physically find our people doing it. You'll show up as cowards looting stores in flash mobs just to throw the authorities off. Because you know they realistically can't get all of you. Though I argue in the future, someone within those groups are going to eventually snitch on all of you to get a lighter sentence, but I digress. Now, why did I bring up the flash mobs, and what does this have to do with disunity? See, black folks are unified when it comes to debauchery. We're unified when it comes to massively stealing things, excluding me and some of my listeners. See, we're unified when things get drastic, like a George Floyd, like a, what's her name? Breonna Taylor. I'm not saying if we were unified, these people would still be alive. What I'm saying is that your unity is strength. Y'all will get into an argument about somebody over whose college or professional football team is the best, and y'all will show up at somebody's house to fight or unalive them over football games. See, that silence is deafening because you know I'm telling you the truth. Y'all will sit back and forth and clap back and forth at each other over unnecessarily online beefs. When life is going on, while wealth is being built, while careers are being built off of this internet. See, that's why people like myself can take hiatuses. Because unlike you, this isn't our life. Y'all will sit on here for hours and create nothing, getting entertained. While black YouTubers are trying to tell you that this game is rigged and you're still sitting on here fighting and arguing and yeah, let's unrig the game. No, why don't you create your own platforms? But that's too much, right? For those of you that care, that's how I know you really don't care and you dwell in your disrespect or allowing yourself to be disrespecting your disunity. Because even I confess I was one of those people. I'll shop any business regardless of race, and that's 100% true, and I will. But what if I can find a black-owned product that I like that is just as good as any other race of person? Shouldn't I want to put that money back into my own community? See, people can disrespect us because we're not unified. And so disrespect can evolve in a climate where disunity is the norm. And again, I had to give my shout out to Isaac Hayes III, because soon as I heard that on the 30th of November, sitting at home, avoiding all that holiday shopping because I don't celebrate the stuff, it resonated with me. Some of y'all will sit here and let people disrespect you and know they disrespecting you. Like this thing called race play, where somebody of another race can call you out of your epithets out of their behind, and you get sexually aroused from it. It's a myriad of things that we tolerate. It's a myriad of disrespectful things we play along with because we lack unity. Just like when Cam had to take that beat down, them guys knew what they were doing when they beat Cam Newton down with all those cameras rolling and what was subliminally being said. No matter what, you always gonna be one of us. There's not enough money in the world for us not to attack you. We don't care that you Cam Newton. That's what they were saying. And for people who think they're jealous of not jealous of his success, why do it in public then? The disunity is what brings the disrespect. That's why we take the low end of the stick and why I stay on your butt about the year 2030 and how it's going to hurt us as a community. And see, I know I'll get at least one in my comments where you might be right, but you are Uncle Tom and you shouldn't have said that. Or you might be right, but see, Cam Newton did this. You're still on that petty stuff that don't matter in 2025. When your future gonna come quicker than you think. When, like Isaac Hayes III said, most everything is gonna go into subscription. And even whilst you claim that you love black excellence and support black businesses, a lot of your black businesses have gone to apps already. And as we speak, are building social platforms, and none of you who claim to love black excellence support them. You see those people as the uppity Negro. That's why you can go to Afrotech and brag about how you've done nothing. Oh, I'm looking for my future husband. When the people, male and female, who go may meet their spouses at Afrotech, but for the most part, that's not the real reason most of them went. And it's not because they were the so-called rejected tech nerds that no one dated in the ghetto, although that had played a role in it. See, what you simple-minded people don't understand is that people who go to that, even despite the fact I haven't gone, are either professional networkers or looking to be professional networkers and want to be surrounded by people who care enough about the future and about success. See, excuse my burp, people who go to these events are future forward minded. And while I'm not knocking you for wanting to find a spouse when they want to have certain conversations because they've networked into those conversations and all you're thinking about is what they can buy for you and do for you. Because I've seen some clips from Afrotech from I think this year, and to me it looked embarrassing. People wanting to clown and dance around. You could look at those people and know what black people, based on how they're dressed, how their mannerisms, and how they carried themselves. Who cared enough for the Afrofuturism coming? Who cared enough for future tech? From the ones who came to just show out because they're around their industrious people. They show up to cause discord, to cause disrespect, to cause disunity. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting to dance and have a good time, but some of y'all acted a straight nut at that thing this year. Ain't nothing wrong with going and looking for our husband. No, but the problem is you showed your face and you advertised it. And not once did you say, when you were looking for a future partner, what you can do for that person who, by the time they're in that type of position, got more options. And when I say more options, it's not just women of other races. It can be more and better options of women of their own race. I don't care who this offends. It's time to unify for those who want to unify and leave the ones who don't to falter. Because some of us are going to climb that mountaintop. And we have to accept the ones who choose to goof off and live for 15 minutes of fame and live for notoriety and marinate in allowing their disrespect as a result of a lack of unity. Let them live in their disunity.